Good day everyone. In this video we are going to learn about angles and their measures. Before that, we're trying to review about trigonometric function because chapter 6 is all about trigonometric functions. We have the triangle. This one is the hypotenuse or the longest side. This one is the adjacent side, and this one is the opposite side. Solving the triangle, the sides and then the angles, we are all familiar with the code. So we have TOA, or we have CSOH, CAH and TOA, which means this one is sine, this one is, we have cosine, and this one is tangent. Solving for the side, which is the unknown, is opposites or hypotenuse, therefore you're going to solve using sine. Opposites over, we have the hypotenuse. For cosine, we have the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And then for tangent, we have opposite side over the adjacent. Okay? Back to trigonometry. Okay, so trigonometry basically is the measurement or solving the measures of a triangle, or solving the sides and then the angles of a triangle. What is an angle? Back in geometry, defined as rotating a ray about its point, and there will be we have sides of an angle. We have the initial side and then the terminal side, which is the terminal side, or the initial side is in x-axis, and then the other side will be between, we have y or x-axis, which is the terminal side. Now, there are 4 quadrants to consider. We have the first quadrant, which measures, the first quadrant measures 0 to 90 degrees. The second quadrant measures 90 to 180. The third, 180 to 270. And the fourth one, 360 or 270 to 360, or 0 degrees to negative 90 when we will start on this side. First thing we will know, what are the coterminal angles? The coterminal angles will have the same initial and terminal sides. So now, how will we determine the two coterminal angle of 60 degrees? One coterminal will be positive and then the other one will be negative. Just remember that to get the two coterminal angles, you're going to remember this one. So first thing you will do is you have to add plus for positive 360 degrees, and for negative you're going to subtract 360 degrees. Therefore, for 60 degrees we have 420 and negative 300 degrees for its coterminal. Okay, remember again, just remember we have to add and subtract 360 degrees. Next, how about 30? Find the two coterminal angles of 30 degrees, so therefore we will have now 390 and negative 330 degrees. Next, negative 20. One is positive, one is negative. Basically, we're going to add 360 and subtract 360. Therefore, we will have 340 degrees and negative 380 degrees. How about for 460 degrees? Now, we need one positive and one negative. If you're going to subtract 360 degrees, it will give you 100. So therefore, if it is not negative, you are going to subtract another time. So therefore, you can get now the negative side. So remember, we are going to find now one negative and one positive. So therefore, we have 400 or 360 plus 400, 460. So therefore, we will have 800 for positive. And for negative, we are going to subtract until you can find the negative angle. So because the first time we subtracted by 100 or 360, it will give us 100 degrees, which is positive. And then after that, you are going to subtract again 360 so that you can get another we have result, which is the negative. Okay, again, add and subtract 360 degrees. Now, what is a complementary angle? Complementary angle says that the two angles, if you are going to add, it will sum up with or sum into 90 degrees. So find the complement of each angles. Is 120 have a complementary angles? Says that this one added into 90 degrees. So therefore, 40 minus or 90 minus 40, we get 50 degrees. But this one doesn't have complementary angles. Why? Because it's more than 90 degrees. Now we can come up with the supplementary angles. Find the supplement of each angles. Complementary, 90 degrees. Supplementary is 180 degrees. So therefore, the two we have angles have each supplementary angles, which is added into 180. So therefore, 140 degrees and 60 degrees. To sum up, so therefore coterminal, you are going to add and subtract 360 degrees. Complementary angle, you are going to find the value of the angle and then subtract it into 90 degrees. And then for supplementary, subtract into 180 degrees. Let's proceed to the relationship between degrees and radians. So acute angles measures from 0 to 90 degrees or less than 90 degrees, because the measurement of a 90 degrees angle is right angle. Obtuse is from 90 degrees or more than 90 degrees to 180 or less than 180 degrees. Back to complementary and supplementary angles. If the two angles, if the sum of the two angles equal to 90, that is complementary. If the sum of two angles is 180, that is supplementary angles. There are a lot of names of angles. We have the right, we have the reflex, and we have the straight angles. Now, what is the relationship now between the degrees and the radian? We are going to convert now a degree going to radian and a radian going to degree. So this one will take us 180 is equals to pi. So 1 degree will be equal to pi over 180. Therefore, what you're going to do is from degree going to radian is multiply pi over 180. If it is 1 pi, will be equal to 180 degrees over pi. So that now the radians converted into degrees. And 1 minute or 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, so remember all these ones. So again, 1 degree is equals to pi over 180. 1 pi is equal to, or radians converted into, we have degree, will give you 180 degrees over pi. So because the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r units, so therefore 2 pi is equals to 360, pi is equals to 180, and pi over 2 is equals to 90 degrees. Now these are the special angles that you need to remember. 0, we have pi over 2, which is 90 degrees. 180 is pi. 270, okay, 270 degrees is equals to 3 pi over 2. So can you just remember that 90, 180, and 270 degrees are all divided into 2, right? Because half of that's one of the pi. Next, this one will add more, 45 degrees. So pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, and then we will have 5 pi over 4 and 7 pi over 4, which is 45 degrees. We'll add more about that. The special angles. We have the 30 degrees. So 30 degrees over here is pi over 6. This one is, we have 150, 210, and 330 degrees. Next, we have 60 degrees. So you are going to add now by counting this one by 60. So therefore this one now is 90 plus 30. So therefore that is, we have 120. And then this one now will become 270 minus, we have 30 degrees, which is 240. And then this one is 300 degrees. So these are the values of radians from degree converted into radians. So again, what you're going to do is multiply by 180 over pi and pi over 180. So back to the conversion, times 180 over pi if you're going to convert. So you are going to multiply. Okay, so times 180 over pi if you are going to get a degree, and then times pi over 180. Okay, 180 degrees equals to, we have radian, right? Okay, so just remember this one, how you will convert now from radian to degree and from degree to radian. Okay, so these are the quadrants, okay, that you have to remember.